technical difficulties, but nothing that can't be overcome with a little bit of elbow grease and whatnot. Rats in the wires, Russian hackers, whatever it is. Take your pick, whatever you like. Jeff Kaplan, I don't know, whatever you like as a potential cause, but that's fine. We're perfectly good back here. So we saw already a pickup from early on here. We saw a pickup on Busan. It was TBA emerging victorious over Otter Oxide on map 1. I'm Corbec, joined here by Alu V2. Alu, what do you think the big takeaways of the last map?
Goats was pretty fun, I guess, to watch a little. Only a little. But then once they swapped to 2-2, it was dominating for TBA because their 2-2-2 comp was just absolutely destroying onto Otter Oxide because Otter Oxide just wasn't ready for it, especially with Simple's Pharah. Because Simple's Pharah was absolutely just destroying their entirety.
Yeah, Simple was indeed playing a very dominant Pharah in that Pharmacy combo, especially on the last map. The one with the drum, which I don't remember the name of for the life of. But here we are coming along to our next map, which is going to be the escort map, Dorado. Again, another map perhaps where a Pharah could be very effective. Do you think we'll see Simple on that hero again?
Yeah, Pharah seems like a pretty good option coming in from Simple, but it doesn't seem that Simple will be in the game this time. It'll be Ember on the Junkrat.
It does look like some substitutions have been made, so Ember Junkrat coming in. I guess the Pharah strategy, not one that TBA really wanted to go with here. Of course, they've still got Sharpshot in there as well, and he was playing a pretty mean hit scan on that last map as well.
On this attack, it looks like they might be running a pirate ship-esque comp with that A Disappoint Bastion.
Yeah, I do think they're making maybe some mean picks here. I'm not sure exactly what we're going to see.
A Disappoint swapping back over to Lucio, just saying, yeah, this isn't actually going to happen, but they might be running that actual triple DPS, quad DPS. Now that I'm looking at it,
yeah, quad DPS would certainly be interesting. Though it looks like they're making some switches here, so they're not going to be giving us quad DPS just yet. Still an up and coming stream, things considered. Bird switching over to the Widowmaker, and Bird on the Widowmaker was actually quite good on the city center phase there of Busan. At least I thought it's just that the rest of the team couldn't really capitalize. Picks were coming at awkward times.
Yeah, either at like the middle of the fight when it really didn't even matter, or it was like at the very end of the fight when the fight was already over and they lost.
So here they come, Otter Oxide actually sneaking underneath. They're leaving Bowl of Bowls up there, maybe to cause a little bit of confusion. No, they're doubling back. Proper bamboozle coming out from Otter Oxide here as they drift back on the point. It was pretty good. It got him to turn around for half a second. Marty Barter called the high ground, though, looking for the dive that's going to initiate the TBA attack here. Can't quite find anyone. They're playing very spread out, though. Bird might be in danger. No, Marty drops down into the midst of the formation as Sharpshot wins the Widowmaker drew there. Now Bill of Bull is under a lot of pressure, will charge for it, but he's able to get back with the rest of his team before any serious damage can be done. Sharpshot just uncontested up on this high ground, throwing in damage. Effort dropping in the bombs. We'll finally get a pick. It's tight as a point right there. Bull of Bulls going down. It looks like just a cleanup here for TBA. A pretty solid first fight win for them.
Yep, especially with Ember's bombs coming in. Ember already almost up to a tire. That's a extremely game-changing ult, and they're already popping sites just to get a little bit of information of what they're doing in the spawn zone. But oh well. Yeah, spawn zone is always fun, I guess, and it was more or less so that Sharpshot could figure out where the Widow was, because if Sharpshot can't figure out where the Widow is, then that could be very devastating when the Widow just randomly picks out Korean name. I don't know what it is. Sorry. Pepe Hands.
Yeah, an early pick right there. Just out. He didn't have a chance in the world. Petticoat picking off Famsu's mech there, just doing their best to keep Otter Oxide kind of pushed back in spawn. Marty doing the scouting now. We'll drop in. Trying to get a little bit of tickle damage in there. We're flying back out. Doesn't want to stay down there, especially with that Discord orb on him. And Bull's just pushing this car forward slowly but determinedly. A Disappoint getting picked off. Now you see Marty in the back line again, really playing this contest role as Sharpshot comes in with yet another pick, just entirely unbeaten up there on that high ground. And Otter Oxide are really looking for something.
Yeah, Otter Oxide really hasn't been able to get anything started. They keep on just walking in, and it's just kind of just happening, and they can't really do much about it. And now they're finally going to be doing that underneath strat, and it seems like they already figured out of it. And Sharpshot just insta-picked Bird.
Bird going down very early there, but here comes the speed boost for the rest of the team. Valkyrie will be popped in response. Yikes doing his best to keep the team up. Famsu comes diving in. Transcendence unleashed now from TBA again, just helping them win this fight with both support out all in the field. Seems to be working. Sharpshot getting involved in the action. Pretty much every member of TBA getting in on the kills right there. And that will again force another hard reset here from Otter Oxide. They're really scrambling for solutions.
And Bola Bowls popped their Shatter, and it could have been game changing, but they're going to swap over to the Winston. And Bird's still determined that their Widow can really do much, but it seems like they probably should just swap it back over to Goats, because that seemed what they were doing the best at, especially if they would have went underneath and they could have won the Goats fight. But Bola Bowls is pretty low.
Zen going down early there. Bola Bowls under a lot of pressure. This defense bending, but not breaking even the slightest sense. Otter Oxide setting up here for another attack. They've switched over to Winston now. He's going to go up on the high ground immediately. Bola Bowls getting up there. Famsu moving into help. Transcendence on the point will help keep the team alive, but Famsu was caught up at the top, got taken out of the neck, pops the Diva Bomb to clear things out. Here comes the Junkrat Tire over the top. Ember manages to find Bird. For Bird puts in just a little bit of damage. Bola Bowls going down. Now the Diva Bomb coming in the other direction. Will manage to get Xavier on the point. That leaves Pie Ninja really the only one around there. At this point, not far behind. Famsu back in the mech, trying to just stall this out as long as possible. Famsu in full stall mode on the Diva. Will get really little luck there. Is immediately brought down, but even when it looks like it's about to end, Bola Bowls diving in over the top there on the Winston, trying to keep it alive. Xavier now up on the cart, continuing to stall. He's in a lot of trouble though. He'll get brought down almost immediately as soon as he touches, and that will signal an end, Alu. So rather one-sided affair for us right there.
Score 0-0. Switching sides.
Not a tall order at all here. For TBA to get on this first point. Do you think they'll try anything clever or crafty, or will they just run something simple and straight? Looks like we might have lost a little bit of feed from Alu there. That's okay. Those rats in the wires. Looking at the two teams sort of setting up here, really haven't quite made all their picks yet. You see Bird picking up a Pharah here, so whether or not we're going to actually see that, no, it looks like that will be, we're going to see Famsu picking up the Mei. Meanwhile, on the other side, Sharpshot switching off of the hit scans, which he's been so effective, or they've been so effective, I should say, and picking up Genji instead here. Ember on Pharah this time, a replacement for previously very good Pharah that we were seeing. So we'll see how this goes with this particular pharmacy, but again, not a lot of distance. We'll see what kind of defensive setup too comes out of Otter Oxide. It's going to be a tall order for them to hold here, but nothing is impossible, especially in the world of Overwatch. So we'll see what they've got here. Pie Ninja moving up to the line. I see someone in the chat saying that Genji is Sharp's final form, so God have mercy on Otter Oxide if that's Sharp's final form, considering that would be an evolution of his Widowmaker play, which has been absolutely devastating so far in the match. They're actually going to play right down here underneath the bridge. Gonna try and, I guess, keep this tight. Full of Bowls back on the Reinhardt here, just sort of setting up a defense. Wants to bait them in.
Yeah, especially with Sharp. If Sharp is what chat says, then he's probably going to pull out some Shadow Burn out of just nowhere, and Sharp Shot might just carry it like he has been on his Widow. And it's just being a steadily poke fight, and they're not even going to try and contest them, because they know that if they lose any fight, then it could be just flat out GG, and it's a pretty huge pick on the Marty.
Yeah, playing this very passively. Marty down early there, which is a good advantage for them to have, but he'll be rezzed back into it by Yikes, so he's not quite the last we're going to hear of him just on point, which the rest of the team, a very passive approach from both of these organizations right now. Sharp Shot getting taken down though, and that's bad news. Petticoat knocked out of the mech as well. Coalescence across the point, perhaps a little bit unnecessary there, but it will be enough to keep the team up through that. And it looks like, for all intents and purposes, TBA is going to have to back up and maybe reset this. Olive.
Oh yeah. Especially with Pie Ninja, he's just killing everyone. He's getting close up to a barrage, a grav, and Bird already has barrage, and it seems like whatever happened in the spawn room, Oxide figured out what they were doing wrong, and they're holding it, and they finally want to fight.
Yeah, it looks like Sharp Shot got taken down early there, but he res back into it. Petticoat initiating this time. Ember with the barrage over the top. Both tanks down. Transcendence being unleashed. Will be res back into the fight though. Bird now getting the pick on Yikes and unleashing the counter barrage, but Ember floating around just next to him manages to take him out. Now getting a pick here as well. The points being swayed out. Sharp Shot with the ultimate will manage to take out Aegis point. Bowl of Bowls going down to the ult 2, and Sharp Shot with another pick in the blade, and that I think will signal the end of it. Pie Ninja, the only one close enough to get back, will not make it. So it's a map 2 win here for TBA, and again, a relatively dominant performance.
Oh yeah, especially with everything that I can't speak today, dude. Everything that was happening, and especially with all of the stuff that was happening, especially in the first part of that defense from Oxide, that was just, they were playing extremely well, and especially with Bird. Bird was really just being a nuisance into TBA's inside, but TBA still just pulled out that win, and that's pretty much what happened. And it's not like they really tried to or did stop it.
Yeah, TBA looking pretty convincing on that map. That defense was definitely interesting, and I think a lot of it, of course, has to go to Marty Barter for playing a very sort of Marty R. Barter. I never noticed the R before. Playing a very convincing sort of Winston down there, going in, jumping, contesting the point, jumping around, putting a little bit of pressure, doing a great job of just keeping the DPS who are up on the high ground, Sharp Shot and Ember, just free of pressure and allowing them to put in a lot of damage.
Yeah, and it seems like they're talking about if they want to put in some substitutes, and seems like they're going to be swapping sides, and it's going on to Hanamura.
Coming into Hanamura, I think we're going to see these teams running. Do you think we're going to see Otter Oxide going back to the GOATS comp that has been, so that was effective for them, at least on the first point of Busan, or do you think we'll kind of continue seeing them run slightly different things? Personally, I think it's time maybe to move back to GOATS, but what do you think?
Well, from my personal experience being a main tank player, I think, especially with Hanamura, they're probably going to run GOATS, especially because it was working. And GOATS on 2CP is probably GOATS' best strategy and timing for it. But at the same time, 2CP, and especially this map, is the strat that pretty much started the whole Bastion Symmetra thing, so you never know, man. I'm really hoping to see some Bastion Symmetra, but that's just because, Bastion is extremely cool in my opinion.
Yeah, I noticed you keep coming back to the Bastion position, the Bastion Symmetric composition. Well, there's nothing wrong with that. It would almost certainly be uninteresting to see played. I played it myself actually today on the ladder, and it was it was a good time teleporting all around the map. I wasn't the Bastion, so I didn't get the majority of the fun. But I feel like ever since they gave him that little bit of boost to his accuracy there, it's been a little bit more effective. But we'll see. I think a side swap coming in here as well. Otter Oxide will be going over to the blue, and TBA will be switching over to the red. Any particular standout players you've seen here so far, Alu?
I've been really keeping my eye on Ember and Yikes, because Yikes has just been really good on that Mercy and that other main heat support, especially with the Jonak, the Zenyatta player that was playing on Dorado last map.
Fair enough.
That was the official translation that I got word from Camden, that the Zenyatta on Dorado was Jonak.
Yes, who
he flew in from Korea and just decided to grace his top 500 play with us and
Yeah.
explain to the world of Platts that there is a higher up.
Yeah, who knew that he was moonlighting for TBA down here in the opportunity? Who knew? I hope that I hope
All
NY
memes
excels
aside,
okay.
his name actually does translate to Jonak.
Oh, that's good to know, and we will keep that in mind there as we continue forward here. So the site's setting up. Bamboo Cactus in now. We'll be picking up the Moira here. Full name is Gold Jonak, apparently. There you go.
Gold Jonak.
I love it. I love it. It's great. What do you think of these two compositions? Just taking a quick look at them here, Ollie.
No goats, surprised, especially from Otter Oxide. I really was expecting goats from Otter Oxide because their goats they had some pretty strong goats. I'm not gonna lie. They went out to the pen. They saw the two strongest goats they had and just, hey, can you go fight in this South Korean defense space? And it's more or less what happened. But they're gonna be running that normal
The strongest
double
goats.
sniper comp.
Looks like we see Ember on that Pharah again here, just putting a little bit of damage in on the choke. Bull's playing very standoffish, doesn't really want to give them too much space. Doesn't want to be the initial victim of the dive here either, though. Oh, and Bird with an early pick, sharp shot going down in the gateway there. But again, this poke phase seemingly going on for quite a while. Marty Barter hops in, maybe tries to protect the res, gets sharp shot back in the fight, and still no pressure coming in. They're playing this very standoffish.
Oh yeah, especially with their main tank always being there. They're protecting their team. And it seems like they're gonna be swapping over to more of a dive-ish comp with the Winston.
And it does look like Marty did try and initiate there, almost immediately brought down by Amsu Genshi, getting a little bit of revenge on his brother there in the back line. The res will come in. Marty Arter gets brought up, but yikes, pays for with their life. Ember gets taken down as well. The fight continuing here. Bowls nanoed up, chasing after the Winston, will force him off the point. It's just Sharpshooter in the back line. Oh, he manages to get 8 at this point. Still dancing around here. Marty comes back onto the point. Yes, out. Xavier, who I think previously was playing some support, is taking out a mech there on the Diva. Famsu back now, though, helping pull the Bulls out, but it won't do him any good as Ember flies in and finishes him off. And now the question, Alu, do you try and recontest? It looks like this is over to me.
Yeah, I wouldn't recontest. Maybe if it was just hitting barely getting onto the first tick, I would have tried to get a recontest onto that. But it seems like Ember has been having issues getting into the sky after their barrage from Bird. But it seems like from TBA, no, not TBA, Otter Oxide, they're gonna have a bunch of ults going into this next fight.
Blade coming out early, bomb chucked in over the top there. Coalescence unleashed as well as Bamboo Cactus somewhere over there in the back, just trying to get a little bit of damage in here. Sharp shot getting 2 though. Diva bomb thrown in the backside. Jonak off Lucio manages to finish off a disappoint. You see Xavier in a little bit of trouble there on the sound barrier coming out, just continuing this push here. Xavier up on the high ground. Bowls with the hammer down right on the point. He's looking for Yikes, won't quite find it though. Sharp shot anti-nated in the back line, still alive though. Somehow this Genji just staying up, getting kills, finally brought down. Bowls swinging with that hammer, and that's a lot of damage done right there by Bowls. Doing an excellent job swinging away on that Reinhardt.
Especially with Sharp Shot doing so much damage after he bladed, and he's already coming up onto another blade, and it seems that Ember's going to be swapping off that Pharah because it wasn't really working out after Bird just decided to click on the body of Pharah. So that Junkrat will be able to help deal with Bullet Bull's shield and Xavier's defense matrix and put a lot more pressure onto him.
And here comes the push in the top right side. Marty Barter looking for a good opportunity to dive here, lead the rest of the team in. Hasn't quite found it yet. There he goes. He's going to drop directly on. Bird is going to be the victim. Sharp shot with another blade, an anti-native. But Sharp shot manages to push the two people down there. Bird and one of the sports back into the spawn there. Bamboo Cactus, however, finishes off the ice. The fight transferring back to the point. A Diva Bomb is thrown in. Petticoats gets taken out. Jonak managing to hide behind the pillar there. Will not go down. Here comes Marty again. Nano Boost thrown in on Bowl of Bulls, and that's just going to amp his damage even more. But Ember getting a pick. Here comes the tire over the top. Oh, it's destroyed. Bird takes it out of mid-air, and then he's trying to go for the jump right himself. Won't quite find it. Bamboo Cactus taking Sharp Shot down with a nice Coalescence too on the tail end of that. And wow, another good defense right there by Otter Oxide.
It seems that they're going to be slowly swapping back over to that goats comp, with sharp shot swapping over into that brig, and it seems like they're going to be having Ember swap over to a Zarya maybe. Or they're going to be, yep, that's what I thought. They're going to be running goats comp against Bird and Famsu's DPS. And it seems like they're going to be able to push up through top side and put a bunch of pressure onto him and make him drop down instantly. But trying to just get the second tick so that they can proceed to try and either cap the point or go into a third fight and get the third tick.
Bird floating on the outside on the far, doing a lot of damage there. You hear the sound barrier coming in to initiate this fight. It's a lot of big bodies in the core on the right side. Petticoat looking to dive down, just contesting far as much as possible. Barber in a little bit of trouble there, gets the anti-nade in as well, but it's a good shatter back on the other. Down almost immediately. Ember now in trouble, drops back onto the point. Petticoat as well in there, just trying to keep this alive. Ember, though, will eventually go down, and it's failed Bulls and Bamboo Cactus again, featuring prominently in the kill feed, as once more TBA is driven out of the dojo here on Hanamura.
And it seems they're going to be just getting sent back to the spawn room, like of what Otter Oxide finally learned, hey, I just realized how to send them back to the spawn room, so let's come on, guys, let's actually just focus up. Let's send them back to the spawn room for once. I'm tired of sitting in spawn, so why don't we just make them sit in spawn for a little while? Let's not let them play the game. And so they're going to go up through topside again. They're going to try and initiate the fight again, probably with either they're going to use the Diva Bomb to initiate, or going to use the Diva Bomb to stall on point after they start getting on point after they get some picks.
Dropping your point there, but yikes, going down early, a victim of Bird. Another big hammer down coming in, 3 caught up in that. Bird getting 2 with the barrage on the follow-up, and Solid Blue in the kill feed there will just beat this attack right back. That's going to be another hard reset here for Marty R. Barter and the rest of the team.
Another spawn room push, boys. Let's go. Always got to enjoy those spawn room pushes, boys and gals.
It'll be interesting to see, do you think they're running the right composition all week to sort of crack this defense as they come in on the top side again?
Well, if they keep on going through top side, they're going to finally realize that they're only going through top side, and then they already know that's what's going on, and they're going to initiate with that barrage, with the Nanofara.
They're charging up here onto the high ground, looking for a pick. Fonsu and Bowl of Bulls both up there. Either of them could be a victim. Demon Bomb falling in, but most of the kills not going the way of TBA. Sharp Shot will get brought down as Bamboo Cactus unleashes another Coalescence here. He's going to focus most of that healing on Bowl of Bulls. And once more, the door is closed in the face of TBA, and they're going to have to reset again.
I guess they're just not realizing what they're doing wrong here, and they're just trying to go in with some ults, and their ults are just not falling out. But it seems like they're going to just be swapping it back up over to Sharp Shot, going back over to the Widowmaker, and probably going to have Diva swap off, maybe? Nope, they're going to be running Goats with the Widow. Woats.
Woats indeed. Sharp Shot already getting a pick, though. It's a disappoint taken down. Marty pushing straight to point here. Ember following it up. Barrage coming in. Bird gets 2 with that. Sound barrier coming out just a little bit too late to keep the team up. Marty Barter, the only one getting any sort of damage or action in here, manages to take down his opposite number on Bowl of Bulls, but he's stranded all alone on the point, and he is crushed. And I don't think any members of TBA are going to be able to jump back. Oh, no, Jonak tries to touch, doesn't make it, though. Famsu brings him straight down, but here comes Ember swinging back onto the point as